Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to auction time. Today we're going to be auctioning off some great items from EPAP, some expired MREs. Is this the right show?
Chris, I think you have the wrong day.
I
believe this is our monthly admin update.
Okay, well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. I have the wrong script in front of me. I'm just the talent just reading off the script. So, but today's admin update is for October 11th. Thank you for putting me on the right track here. As always, I have our esteemed Jason Ewalls, Assistant General Manager, and myself, Christopher Mitchell, the Executive General Manager. Both a little struggling with our football teams.
Yeah, last night was not good.
But it was a good game. But again, we are struggling. We'll give you more updates on how the Raiders are doing, Cleveland Browns are doing. Just struggling. But so let's just move on to our admin updates. This one's going to be a little short because we just did one a few weeks ago to give you more of an update, community. But this one, a little shorter. So we've got a few things. What Jason, the rest of the team have been really working on is our budget. The budget for 2023. Been many workshops. I've done some PowerPoint presentations to the community. I hope everyone actually gets a chance to see the PowerPoint that was done at the last delegates meeting. We talked a little bit about the differences between a restaurant that is profit motivated out in the community. Out in the world, like a McDonald's. A key thing to note why they're profit motivated is because they have shareholders to appease. They're making money. That's profit compared to a association restaurant, which is geared for service. Great presentation. I know Hernan's going to be putting that on the website. He may even put it on an email blast. We'll see. But back to the budget piece. This has been going through a lot of hours with the board, with the Finance Advisory Committee, staff. You know what's happening in the world with inflation, costs going up, and the impact on the community of what, do we need to, costs are going up. How do we control that? And how do we, not pass a huge assessment increase? I know a lot of members are concerned about that. But the problem is we have vendors' costs going up. We have now the city of Banning's costs going up, insurance costs. And there is a fiduciary duty that the board has to the Corporation of Sun Lakes and to make sure that it can remain moving forward, handling maintenance, etc. And so at the open session meeting that is October 26th, the board will be reviewing the final draft and approving that, hopefully approving it at that meeting. We do have a timeline where the board needs to approve the budget by the end of October. It then needs to be prepared in a packet that is mailed out to the community. Under the Civil Code, that packet must be mailed before the end of November to make sure residents receive it in December for the new year. That packet will have the information about what the assessment rate is, where our reserves are, a collection policy, and some other information that you can use to where do I get information, who do I contact. That's all in that budget packet that is mailed out first class to comply with the Civil Code. And so, again, there will be a presentation that I will be doing for the community and for the board. So please pay attention to that meeting. That's also at that meeting, we're going to be doing the golf rates. So if you're interested in listening to what's going to happen, please either attend or we will be doing live, I believe, the budget, the open session board meeting. October is a big one because, again, the budget, everything's in there. November is a little smaller, and then December, if we have one, it's usually small, just some housekeeping items. So this is the last big hurrah meeting before the end of the year. So again, a lot of work all the way back to May working on this budget. So I look forward to finalizing this. So Jason, there were some recent incidences that we had.
Yeah, this past weekend, Chris, we had a break-in the RV lot. 2 suspects came in. They used bolt cutters and cut the chain to the automatic gate, which then allowed them to manually open them. Mm-hmm. They did get in. They did access a few of the vehicles. There was, I think, 8 to 10 in total that were touched. The Securitas did get down there. They did see it. They got down there. The individuals left during that time. They stayed down there to do their report, and these individuals came back with a vehicle, dirt bike, and I believe something else. They did come in once they saw the lights from patrol there, as well as PD, because PD was contacted. The two suspects did flee. PD went after them, but I do not believe they caught them. I believe they went off into the fields down there by Highland Homes. But it is an open, active investigation with Banning PD. Yeah. So we were just happy that patrol was able to get down there, and I believe stopped anything from actually leaving the premises. So know that we're on it, and they continue to work with Banning PD on any of these issues, whether we have trespassing in the RV lot or anywhere within the community.
All right. Okay, just some quick updates on projects. Again, a couple weeks ago we gave you updates. We're still moving on the wall painting. I think a lot of you have seen more of the walls have been painted with that white and the blue trim. They're still moving forward to, I think they've made it almost to Sun Lakes Boulevard.
Yeah, they're actually on Country Club, and they are finishing off Glen Eagles.
Good.
So they're working their way back down Glen Eagles to Country Club to come back down and finish off Country.
Good deal. So that is still ongoing. The pickleball courts, we're still looking at the end of October to start that. The vendor has been secured who will do the courts itself. I know recently they asked that the kitchen
be a different
I call it the kitchen sink or whatever it is. Again, I'm not versed in the rules of pickleball, but we did make a change to the paint color on that, and we're still working to get some final quotes on that shade structure that will be there, since we're changing the design and the orientation of the courts. Make sure that there is some shade structure there.
Yeah, what's there now, it's sufficient for 2 tennis courts, with back-to-back benches. But now that you're going to have 8 pickleball courts, it's not. And so they need some more coverage over there. Right.
So we'll be working on that. Common Area Advisory Committee, Doug Swenson, shout out to him, leading the charge on evaluating Gate 1 and Gate 2's water structures. Really, it's looking with the water restrictions that we have, and the water restrictions aren't, I don't think, going away. We've talked with the city about that, and they feel that it may go on for another year or more.
Yeah, it could become the new norm,
right?
Unfortunately.
And so what the committee is really looking at, and they're going to formulate some recommendations to the board, is what do we do at Gate 1 and Gate 2 with those water structures? Do we do a smaller water structure that's recycled water? Do we just move to some nice ornamental flowers, plants, and do some monuments there? That's still being reviewed. So, but speaking about water, I did forget to talk about that the city we did appeal, and if you watch the delegates meeting, I believe the board president gave an update on that the city of Banning has stated that the fountains cannot be turned on under their local stage 2 level 2 water contingency, is that the fountains and ponds must be turned off. Now, I was just down this weekend in Coachella Valley. Their fountains are on, and this has been a member's concern of, hey, they're doing it over there, why can't we? Well, Coachella Valley Water District has a different contingency plan. That's like at a tier 4 or whatever later on. City of Banning's is different, and each of the local jurisdictions can create their own contingency plans of when things need to be turned off and what other restrictions are happening. So governor put the order to start implementing contingency plans. Unfortunately, City of Banning's plan was at level 2, shut off the fountains and ponds. Now, Bob Walter did request, how do we change that? And there's a process you have to go through to change it, but it could take a year to do that. And it still then has to get approved. And so right now, we tried our second shot to get those fountains back up online. But again, the City of Banning has denied that. So Doug Swenson and his Common Area Advisory Committee are going to be looking still on some solutions for the future. And finally, we're getting to the end of the year, age verification. We are looking to finalize that, hopefully either have a report at the open session on the 26th or the next delegates meeting in November, and maybe even throw in some great information of where we were 8 years ago. Jason gave an update during the delegates of it was 79 years, average age about 9 years ago, whatever it was, and now it's trending towards 72. I think this is a very interesting change that the board and the committees like the restaurant lounge need to look at and say, our population is changing. How do we adapt to meet the needs of this new generation that's moving in? So again, looking forward to getting that finalized. That's every 2 years we're required to do that. 2022 has just been a lot of stuff going on.
Yes, it has.
So
Yes, it has.
let's get what's happening in the subs, because I know there's always good stuff happening in the subs.
Subs right
Restaurants,
now-
the restrooms are still good.
Yes,
Okay,
we're all good there.
perfect.
With Lakeside, they did hold a meeting on the September 30th, and what that meeting was for one item only, and that was the rule change that came up for children's hours. So at that meeting, they did approve it, and so now the children's hours are 12 to 4 at Lakeside. They will have 2 weeks of that new rule change until their pool closes down on October 31st.
Good deal.
So they'll be able to enjoy that for a couple weeks. And then with that, their pool and spa will shut down and stop being heated on October 31st. They are having a board meeting here coming up. Their board meeting will actually be the 4th Friday of the month, which is the 28th of October, and that's at 1:30 in the multi-purpose room at the main clubhouse. And again, just like the master, their budget's going to be voted upon as well. With Lakeside 2, we have the pool's also going to be turned off on October 31st as far as the heating goes. However, with their spa, they go year-round on their spa,
Nice.
so their spa will be heated year-round. Once again, their board meeting coming up this month is October 27th, the 4th Thursday of the month, and that's at 3:30 in the multipurpose room. With Fairway Villas, their pool and spa will be turned off October 31st for the pool and December 31st for the spa. And then that pool will open back up May 1st and the spa will open up April 1st. Their board meetings this month will be the third Tuesday, which is coming up next week. So it'll be the 18th, and that's at 2 p.m. again in the multi-purpose room. All the subs have their budgets being voted upon. So
Good.
it's that time of the year. Just like you mentioned earlier, Chris, by November 30th, they will be mailed out to the
Yes.
homeowners. Districts 3, 6, and 10 in their mailing packet. Usually we've done both of them at the same time, so that way it's just one mailing.
Nice.
And you'll have both your master and your sub-association in there.
Good deal.
Yeah, so that's kind of what's going on with the subs right now. Speaking of the restrooms, with Fairway Villas, once the pool and everything closes down, we're going to be looking at refreshing the restrooms there.
Nice.
Putting some nice non-slip tile in. We did it at Lakeside 2 this past off season. It has been received very well.
Good.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yep.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this is your update for October. Again, look forward to that open session meeting regarding the budget. And then we'll be back in November before Thanksgiving to give you an update.
Yep.
Happy Halloween. Take care.
Happy Halloween, everyone.